that too. Right. All right, Shalom. Shalom. We the Brothers of Great Millstone, Church of Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, we want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash.
Yeah, in the ancient Hebrew tongue, that would be the correct name of the Heavenly Father's beloved Son and the Holy Spirit. Also, we'd like to give double honors to our teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone, the men who we believe through faith, to be raised up here in these latter days to convey this word and bring clarity to this book, I also want to say shalom to you brothers out there laboring in this work, continually pushing out this gospel in all true faith and sincerity. And shalom to you believers out there, the Akim and the Aqua, the brothers and sisters alike that subscribe to this truth as well. So we back in the spirit, and pretty much what you're witnessing right now that's taking place on the planet Earth is the so-called white man beginning to set the stage to wage war against the children of Israel, And unless you've been under a rock, if your eyes are not open, you're not going to see this, which I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there again. This is not for the faint-hearted or for those amongst you casual Israelites out there. This is only for the serious-minded amongst Israel that understand the magnitude of this moment. If you really have a feel for the pulse of the planet Earth right now, if you will, you'll know that this devil is plotting, man. He's plotting on the children of Israel. All right? We're gonna bring forth information tonight, to pretty much validate what we're saying, which we don't need that information in no wise to solidify, this being the truth. We got the scriptures, but we could use outside sources, if you will, and filter through the scriptures pretty much to drive home the point, But this devil has put you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in the scope, you in his sight, all right? And he feels as if the only way he can somehow combat prophecy is to get rid of the children of Israel. Matter of fact, a couple of precepts come to mind. You give me that in Jeremiah 31. And also give me, I think that's Genesis 27, around the 42nd verse, maybe, Esau said, then I will slay my brother. All right, go ahead.
All right, Con, this is Jeremiah 31, I'm starting at 35. Thus said the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divided the sea, the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, said the Lord, then the seed of Israel shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
Right. So the Lord said, look, if these ordinances cease before me, right, if there will be no more sun and no more moon, then the nation of Israel will cease from being a nation before me. And Esau know that. Do you know Esau shot a damn missile? They was looking to shoot a missile at the moon, right? Because they trying to take the Lord up on that promise, if you will. Okay? So the Lord said, look, if the sun ceased to be before me or the moon, I will cast off Israel. All right, continue.
It said, thus said the Lord, if heaven above can be measured.
Right, if heaven above can be measured, meaning the universe, right? Go ahead.
And the foundations of the earth searched out beneath.
And the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, which is going into the sea. That's why you got these devils, they're going out there trying to see what new planets is. Hey, when you watch, for an example, NASA, they got the NASA channel, or you might come across these certain documentaries where these devils, they act as if they're looking to see if there's other life form or, different planets. They act as if they do it for edification's sake. No, they're doing it because of this scripture. Scripture said, read that part again.
It said, thus said the Lord, if heaven above can be measured.
Right, if heaven above can be measured, see, go ahead.
And the foundations of the earth searched out beneath.
Right, that's why you got these different devils that go up under the water. They search out the sea. Go ahead.
It said, I will also cast out the seed of Israel.
Right, so the Lord said, if you can measure the heavens or the depths of the underworld, then I'll cast off Israel. See that? Go ahead.
It says, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all they have done, said the Lord.
Right, so these devils is pretty much trying to call the Lord on that. They're like, look, okay, you said it. If I can, and that's heavy because even when you consider NASA, these different astronauts, these different space programs, they always marvel on how the universe is expanding. So that's the Lord. Whenever they feel as if they making up ground, then the Lord stretched the universe out on them. See? So these devils, the moral of the story is these devils, they don't do this for edification's sake. It's not, a modern marvel of the 21st century, if you will, when you see them go out into space or go into the underworld with their submarines and they search out the deep. No, they're trying to call the Lord out on that, man. So what's going on here? Esau is in a desperate plea for that birthright, and it's going to resort to them, leaning on their attributes. When all else fail, Esau is going to figure, you know what, we're going to have to just put Jake to death. All right, go ahead, give me that.
This is the book of Genesis 40, and Genesis 27 and verse 41. It says, and Esau hated Jacob.
Right, and Esau hated Jacob. Go ahead.
Because of the blessing.
Because of the blessing. Go ahead.
Wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart.
He said in his heart, right? Which, when you fast forward to today, their heart is dealing with these secret means, man. These devils have come up with different plans, plots, schemes, blueprints, They got intricate plans set up to throw Jake into the pit, to get rid of Jake. Hey, when you see, for an example, pork being made a delicacy, man, that's a plot of the elites. Because they know their enemy. They know you. They know what makes Jake tick. They know that pork it shoots your cholesterol to the roof, man. Jake got high blood pressure. You think that's a coincidence? Out of all the edible foods here on the planet Earth, they made pork a delicacy. And furthermore, they put it right in Jake's face. You see? Or whatever else you see out here that they put in these stores, soft drinks, see Jake walking around with a goddamn Faygo, blue Faygo, man. You know what I mean? That was systematic. That was a strategic ploy by Esau, man. See? To try to get rid of you. Go ahead.
It says, but with his father blessed him, and Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Now, when you read that spiritually, after the Lord Yahweh, after he was crucified, what happened? 7 AD happened. That's when them devils started to roll on Jake, even to this very day. Because when you go into 7 AD, Israel was chased out of Jerusalem. Of course, the southern tribe mainly, the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, into the interiors of Western Africa. But later, these devils in their persistent spirit, they was resilient. They came after us later and rounded us up and brought us over here as cargo, man. Although we understand it was biblical prophecy, but that was the words of Esau. That was the determination of Esau to wage war on you. That's why I said after the days of mourning my father, right? Then they would slay their brother Jacob. See? So what you're witnessing right now in the form of this swarm of activity, which we're going to go into information, like I said earlier, that pretty much cements the fact that these devils has placed you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in the scope, in the crosshairs, and we're in a time where they wage a war against you. All right? So that was it on that? All right? You got something else?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Psalms 10 And I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, why standest thou afar off, O Lord? Why hidest thyself in the times of trouble?
Go ahead.
The wicked in his pride does persecute the poor.
Right. In his pride, he persecutes the poor. And this is going to be done mainly through laws and legislations. You know, when we say that this devil is waging war against you, Jake, a simple Negro, Latino, and Native American, it's not going to resonate with them because they don't understand how this devil go about his business. You know, this man, he write it into law. Matter of fact, give me some on that. And matter of fact, in the 10th verse, if you continue, you're going to go into that. Go ahead.
It says, let them be taken in the devices that they have imagined.
Go ahead.
It says, for the wicked boasteth of his heart desires, and bless the covetous who the Lord abhorreth.
Go ahead.
The wicked through his pride of his countenance will not seek after the Most High.
Go ahead.
The Most High is not in all his thoughts.
Read.
He is always grievous. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out. So I can read again from the top. This is the book of Psalms 10 verse 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out in his sight.
Right. So this devil, the last thing on his mind is the judgments of Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, when he lay down certain legislations and laws, he don't think about the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemel Shai. Case in point, when the LGBTQ was birthed, you think he thought about Leviticus, the 20th chapter? In the 13th verse? Of course not, man. When he came over here and he removed the landmarks, you know, he seized control of not just North America, North, Central, and South America, hey, the whole planet Earth. He didn't consider the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemel Shai. When he made pork a delicacy and lobster and shrimp, all the foods that's abominable, okay, in the eyes of Yahweh Shemel Shai, this man somehow made it a delicacy. Well, that means that the ways of the Lord was far beyond him, see, out of his reach. Go ahead.
It says, continuing on, as for his enemies, he puffeth at them.
What verse you at?
Verse 5.
Okay, let me see. Yep, go ahead.
First Psalm 7.
Go ahead. What you was at?
Verse 6. It says, he has said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. His mouth is full of cursing.
Yep, his mouth is full of cursing. Go ahead.
And deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
And that goes into his laws. All right, that gives credence to the idea of this man waging war on you through his laws. This man set legislations in play to pretty much come after Jake. All right, and now the stage is set. You got this guy saying that the coronavirus, you know, which is a new war, you know, like we touched on the other day. You got the war on drugs, you got the war on terror. Now you got the war on the coronavirus. In the face of that war is you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. See, that's a form of him having mischief under his tongue. He sets a scenario, should I say, all right, in a narrative. And where he push out that through the media, pretty much is the overtone, or it affects the outlook of the people. So now this man has said the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American is at higher risk of the coronavirus. So now what he's going to do? He's going to go after you. Okay? So you the enemy. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, this Psalm 52, and I'm going to start at 1. Why boastest thou thyself in mischief, O mighty man? The goodness of the Most High endureth continually.
Yep.
Thy tongue deviseth mischief.
Woo, that tongue deviseth mischief, man. And again, that's going into his laws. All right, go ahead.
Thy tongue deviseth mischief like a sharp razor working deceitfully.
Yep, like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Now, real quick, if you will, could you give me that, what we sent over to you?
Oh, yeah, God.
They were going to play a couple of clips, but before we do, let's get an example of this man and his tongue working deceitfully as a sharp razor, man. All right? So go ahead.
Yeah, this is from YahooNews.com. Came out May 20, 2020. Yesterday. It says New York City's low-income minorities areas hit hardest by COVID-19.
Wait, so hold up. Read that again.
It says New York City's low income.
Right, New York City's low income, which would consist of who? The so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American out there, man. That's who occupy these ghettos, these barrios, these reservations, man. The children of Israel, all right? So now we're in a time now where this man, he's not even playing it off. You know, he's pretty much setting the stage to come after you. You know, he have created the new boogeyman. All right, go ahead.
It said New York City's low income minority areas hit hardest by COVID-19.
By COVID-19, man. They said our people are the ones who's hit the hardest. See that? Now this is New York, right? Go ahead.
It said New York City residents from low-income communities have tested positive for COVID-19 antibodies at a higher than average rate.
But at a higher than average rate. Come on, man. All right? But we know why this information is going forth. See? Because again, this devil, in order for him to come after you, he have to set a certain stage. You know? And hey, just take a glimpse into his history, man. It's the same old format. It's the same old formula, man. You know, with Al Qaeda. You know? When you go into Gaddafi. You know? Idi Amin, anybody, man. Whomever these devils come after, man, before they struck, they set the stage, you know, and they created this boogeyman. All right? To justify them coming after him. That's what we just read in the scriptures, how under his tongue frame of deceit. So this is why this man is known as the accuser. He accuses you, you know, as being, you know, a resistor, if you will. And this devil even go as far as saying, he'll say he'll terror to, you know, humanity. You know? Yeah. When you the guy who have brought bloodshed, you know, you wreak havoc on the planet Earth, you rape, rob the children of Israel, including the other nations, you know, you bomb them to hell and back, you pillage the planet Earth, you even brought drama to the beast of the field, man. There's certain animals at the brinks of extinction. There's certain animals that's already classified as extinct under the watch of the devil, the so-called white man. See? Go ahead.
I'm going to read again. It said New York City residents from low-income communities have tested positive for COVID-19 antibodies at a higher than average rate, underscoring the disproportionate impact of the disease on people of color.
Woo! On what?
The people of color.
On people of color. That's information. We didn't make that up, man. That's not something we just came up with to sound tough, you know. So no, man. This is news. This is news from Yahoo, right? That's a credible source.
Yep.
And it's going into New York City. Now, that's one extreme because that's the biggest city, if you will, on the East Coast. Now we go into the West Coast, all right, out in California. Let's play this clip real quick. Let's show you what's going on out in California.
It says, as a participant, and the name is blocked off, but it was sent to a private citizen. As a participant of assistance benefits, including cash aid, CalFresh, and Medi-Cal, and in accordance with the State of California emergency order, and it gives the number, you are being informed that COVID-19 testing is declared mandatory.
Oh, pause that. Now you got COVID-19 testing being made mandatory. All right, so now what's happening? This devil is beginning to show his horns, man. Matter of fact, give me that real quick. Ecclesiasticus 12.
Yep.
Because it's all under the banner of them looking to help you, right? Since when these devils gave a fuck about you, man? All right, to the point where they're like, look, we're going to lock you up if you don't take this help. You know, if you don't take this test, we're going to take away your benefits. See? So all of a sudden, this devil, he's so hell-bent. You know, he got this vehement approach to help the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American. Because we just read over here where the ones that's affected most is the people of color, right? So since when has he ever helped you, man? All right? Go ahead, huh?
Yeah, this is Rock 12 and just started 16. Yeah, okay. So Rock 12, 16, our enemy speaking sweetly with his lips.
Right, an enemy speaking sweetly with his lips. Okay? Through his media, the propaganda, you know, we want to make sure everybody is healthy. Okay, we're going to do whatever it takes to ensure the lives of your American citizens, which again, who is the ones that's most vulnerable according to their formula. It's Jake, right? So, hey man, the scripture's bad. Go ahead.
It says, but in his heart, he imagined how to throw thee into a pit.
Right, so in these secret councils, they're trying to come up with the solution to getting rid of Jake, you know? Because they know that that's the stumbling block, that's the obstacle in front of them, man. In order for them to pretty much seize control of the birthright in their diabolical mind, they got to get rid of Jake. All right, go ahead.
He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity...
Right, if he find opportunity, which we see now, this is the perfect opportunity for these devils to strike. You know, I don't think, me personally, I don't believe they're going to get another opportunity like now. Where they got, you know, everybody shook pretty much. They got the people eating out of their hand. Hey, you see these people up in these stores, they got the mask on, man. All right? So now Esau has the perfect opportunity to strike. Go ahead.
But if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Go ahead.
If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first.
Right, yeah. So the first person on the scene of the crime is Esau. All right? How fitting. Go ahead.
And though he pretends to help thee.
Right, and though he pretends to help thee, you know, these testings, you know, the overtone of these testings is to help you, right? Go ahead.
Yet he shall undermine thee.
Yet he's going to undermine you. All right? This devil is all the time trying to overthrow you. Go ahead.
He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much.
Right, and going into his secret councils, right? Go ahead.
And change his countenance.
And change his countenance. So suddenly, this man is going to morph into the devil that he is, man. And that's where we at. We right on the cusp of this man showing you who he is, man. All right? And this video clip is going to prove that. Go ahead, continue. Right? Start from the beginning again.
It says, as a participant, and the name is blocked off, but it was sent to a private citizen. As a participant of assistance benefits, including cash aid, CalFresh, and Medi-Cal, and in accordance with the state of California emergency order.
Now pause that. Now we just read over here in New York City, right? Now we over here in California, which would be the two major, you know, if you will, the two major hubs, right? So you see how this devil, you know, this man is slick, man. That's why the scriptures say he's the shrewdest of all the beasts of the field. But this is not just some random act here, man. This is well thought out. All right, go ahead.
It gives the number. You are being informed that COVID-19 testing is declared mandatory for all members of your household.
Right, for all members of your household, man. The COVID-19 testing is mandatory for all members of your household. And this is a form of this devil coming down with great wrath, man. See, this man is not playing it off anymore, man. See, there's a sense of urgency with this devil. You know, a couple of months back, you know, NASA released the footage of the huge chariot coming. They know you have a shot on the way, man. That's why the scripture. Matter of fact, let's get there real quick before we continue over there. Revelation 12 chapter and the 12th verse. All right, this devil is looking over his shoulder, man. And give me Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, I believe it is. Since thou shalt not hate blood shall pursue. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, this Revelation 12 and 12. Therefore, rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth.
Right, woe to the inhabitants of the earth. Go ahead.
And of the sea.
And of the sea, which is symbolic to the people. Okay? So all of you out there of the world, woe unto you. Why? Go ahead.
It said, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath.
Right, so this devil is coming down having great wrath. Why?
Because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
He knoweth that he have but a short time. And through the Spirit, we're going to get another video clip where these devils come out and tell you that. You know, with this whole Rockefeller Foundation. They let you know that they have but a short time. See? Why? Because fate is in pursuit of them, man. All right? Judgment is in pursuit of Esau, man. See? So go ahead, give me what you got.
Currently, the book of Ezekiel 35 and verse 6. It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord of power, I will prepare thee unto blood.
Right, so the Lord has prepared blood unto you, man. And it tells you in Isaiah the 14th chapter. prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of his father. The Lord has already arranged, your judgment. It's already waiting for you. Matter of fact, give me that real quick. Ezekiel 7 and 14. Show you how bad the Lord is, man. You devils think that you the cunning hunter. Well, the cunning hunter above the cunning hunter would be Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, man. All right? Because the Lord have laid a snare for you in the way. And it's going to be because of your own lust, you're going to get took into that trap. That's why the scripture talk about the very trap that they laid, they're going to fall in it, man. The very pit that they dug, they're going to fall into it. The very stone that they rolled is going to return upon their own head. Like, again, when you consider a rat trap, it ain't so much the trap, it's the rat putting pressure on the trap, So you devils are the proverbial rat, man. And you have fallen into the hands of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Go ahead, up.
You want that watching 40 Ezekiel 7:6. It said the end is come.
Right, the end has come. See? The end of what? The end of your reign, man. Go ahead.
The end is come. It watching for thee.
Yeah, the end is watching for you. The end is waiting on you to get to it, man. There's a snare waiting on you, Esau. See that? Show you how bad the Lord is. Like a guy at the end of an alley waiting on you to get there, man, so he can... Well, that's how the Lord have set you up, man. The end is watching for you, devil. Okay? So now, let's go back here.
Coming back in Ezekiel 35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee.
And blood shall pursue thee. See that? And blood shall pursue thee. Go ahead.
Since thou hast not hated blood.
Yes, since thou hast not hated blood. Go ahead.
Even blood shall pursue thee.
So when something pursue you, that means it's on your heels, man. Furthermore, you running. And that proves that you the damn fugitive and vagabond that the scripture talks about. You on the run, man. But guess what? Blood is on your heels. And that's why they got this overwhelming presence of looking over their shoulder. Right? They feel that something is coming. See? So that's why you have this sense of urgency with this devil and these vaccinations. And pretty much, they're looking to get rid of Jake, man. Which, when you go into the Georgia Guidestones, the first commandment, pretty much, is to maintain humanity under 500 million. All right? So who is that talking about? That's talking about Israel. Let's prove that real quick. Give me Exodus 1. Real quick.
Yeah, this Exodus chapter 1 in 7. It said, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied.
See, and the children of Israel was fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied. Go ahead.
And waxed exceeding mightily.
And waxed exceeding mightily, man. Go ahead.
And the land was filled with them.
Woo! And the land was filled with them. So now, why all of a sudden the formula that this devil has come up with is depopulation? Who would that be geared toward? The one nation that's fruitful, man. Jake. See? So this makes complete sense to the serious minded out there. All right, go ahead.
It says, now there arose up a new king.
Oh, that's what we okay. So now let's go back here again. Read that one more time,
It is Ezekiel 35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
And that's bad. This devil has not hated blood on all levels. No, this devil, it's a fix for him to go hunting. Hey, when this devil want to, break the ice or spend quality time with his grandchild, he'll take him hunting, man. All right? This man has not hated blood. Hey, even they food. They food. They like it bloody, man. They like it rare or medium rare at best, man. They entertaining vampires, blood sucking. Horror movies, blood all over. You have not hated blood. You embrace blood. So guess what? The Lord has prepared blood unto you. All right. So now let's go back here.
For all members of your household receiving assistance. So come on in for the test, and if you don't come in for the COVID-19 test, whatever government program you're enjoying at the present time, no more money for you.
Now hit that. Now who pretty much most dependent on government assistance, man? Jake in a lot of cases. Although, really when you go into a lot of these Edomites receive damn government assistance, but we just read in Exodus the first chapter there's more Jakes. So by default, it's more of us, So now this devil, being the devil that is, he's like, look, if you don't take this test, then we're going to strip away the government assistance you've been receiving. A lot of Jakes, generation after generation, been assisted by the government. All right, but you know what? It's the scriptures coming alive. Matter of fact, you'll give me I think it's Isaiah 30. Isaiah 30 and I believe it's 30 and start at the top. Because by you trusting in this devil, that same trust is going to be to your detriment, man. Go ahead.
Isaiah 30 and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Woe to the rebellious children, said the Lord. They take counsel, but not of me.
Right. So you take counsel from whatever ideologies, philosophies that Esau has laid out, in the form of his curriculum, man. Whether the platform is universities and institutions, shit, even rap music. You got a lot of Jake that hold fast to some shit that a rapper said, or the trends that's being set. That's what you hold fast to, man. You have pretty much rejected the words of Yahweh Shema Shah. So there's a penalty for that. Go ahead.
And they're covered with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Go ahead.
They walk to go down into Egypt.
See, they walk to go down into Egypt. This Egypt right here is symbolic to America. Go ahead.
And have not asked at my mouth
go ahead.
to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
See, to strengthen yourselves in the strength of Pharaoh. And that includes government assistance, man. You got some people, man, they content, certain Jakes that's content with a welfare check or food stamp, Section 8, they content with that. Meaning they put their trust in Egypt. See that? Go ahead.
It said, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Right, in the shadow of Egypt. Go ahead.
It said, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame.
See, so that's going to be the penalty. The very strength of Pharaoh is going to turn to your shame, man. And see, and we listening to it now. The very thing that strengthened you is going to come to your shame. All right? Go ahead.
And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion.
Yep, and you're going to be confused. You're not going to understand what's going on, man. Why are you being cast out of your homes, or why are your benefits being taken, and even your kids being taken from you, as we play further into the video. Go ahead, Doc.
Test.
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
Failure to obtain a test by June 1st, 2020 will result in the temporary suspension of your benefits beginning July 1st, 2020 and continue until such time that testing has been completed.
So all of this, I believe, goes under the category of a loss of rights because of COVID-19. And this, of course, is the danger of receiving government money, because now we learn it's conditioned upon whether you're going to submit to a COVID-19 test.
It goes on though and says that if you
Keep
don't,
reading.
in addition, if you should test positive for COVID-19 in compliance with the State of California Welfare and Institution Code, the Human Services Agency or Merced County may deem it necessary to remove all children under the age of 18 from your household
See
who
that?
have tested negative.
Right. So they said, look, if you test positive, they got the right to remove your children, man. From the age of 18 under, man. So that don't sound like desperation in you, man. These devils is in desperation mode. See? So now we're in a time where, what the scriptures have coined as Jacob's trouble is more of a reality, man. And pretty much our reality is becoming your reality. For the longest, it seemed like we're just a bunch of disgruntled so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, using the Bible as a platform to vicariously talk shit against Esau. Now, this is a reality, man. You see, and this man is changing his countenance and showing his horns. And this is nothing more than desperation right here, man. So we're in a time now where this devil is about to spring into action, man. See, and it's pretty much Yahweh. Matter of fact, you got a precept? Get Psalm 17 real quick. This is nothing more than Yahweh Shema Shah getting ready to take one last proverbial swing at the inhabitants of the planet Earth, starting with the children of Israel. All right, pursuant to the book of, I think that's Ezekiel, the 9th chapter, where the Lord said judgment is going to begin at his house, man. So the stage is set, Go ahead.
Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
See, deliver thy soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right? Which is Esau, man. The so-called white man. So he's the sword of Yahweh Shema Shai, meaning the Lord is going to actually give his devil the power to wreak havoc on the planet Earth. All right? So now let's play this clip right here.
Together the supply side, the demand side of the market, and do larger scale, longer term pooled procurement backed by financial guarantees, and ultimately to compensate all testing facilities in a similar manner, whether they are in network or out of network, for the actual cost of the test. It turns out that 2/3 of America's molecular testing capacity
That's the spirit. 2/3.
That's it.
But now what we're reading right here is from the Rockefeller Foundation, man. You know, where they have invested $1 billion testing, contact tracing, isolation program, man. Okay, and this is fresh. You know, this news right here, although it's been out, you know, longer than what we just read, you know, and what we just played in that previous clip. Yet this is the plans of Esau. This is the fresh plans. You know, this is the latest move, the chess move by the so-called white man. Yep. All right, go ahead.
Is sitting underutilized in university labs and research labs and small labs that are not part of the CDC diagnostic surveillance system. We can solve that problem, but it's going to take leadership at the state level and leadership at the federal level. One other point, Andrea, is that we're not just putting this out as a plan. We've committed $15 million to accelerating its implementation. We're already working with a dozen.
Yeah. Play that again.
One other point, Andrea, is that we're not just putting this out as a plan. We've committed $15 million to accelerating its implementation.
So as you can see, this is not something that's they throwing out suggestions and they giving advice. They already got it in motion, man.
Yep, come on.
They already put the money to what it said for the implementation of it, man. So
yeah, it's like they said we done spent the money. Ain't no reneging now.
Yeah, they already bread. There's already down payment on it. You know what I mean?
Hey, and I think they said $15 billion, right? Yep. So these devils is desperate, man. It's going down. You know? Go ahead.
Already working with a dozen cities and some states and some Indian reservations, Native American reservations.
Hit that. For all you Negro-only Israelites out there, man. You know? Well, why he say that, man? Why he said rewind that back.
We're already working with a dozen cities and some states and some Indian reservations.
Yeah, and some Indian reservations, man. So these devils know perfectly well who their enemies are. You know? They know that the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American is their enemies, man. Which we can't say that for our people. They haven't realized who their enemies are. You know? But these devils coming right out now. They ain't not playing it off. It's going down. See? Go ahead.
I got a quick precept.
Go ahead.
Going back in Psalms 10, and I'm going to jump down to verse 9. It says, he lied in wait secretly as a lion in his den.
Yep.
He lied in wait to catch the poor. He doth catch the poor when he draweth him into his net.
Yep. And his net is really America, right? But it translates to the laws, you know, the legislation that he's passing, which is nothing more than a trap. And that net is, what you got? Somebody give me Proverbs, I think, is that Proverbs 1 and 17? That very net that he's laying, we see right through that shit, man. The Lord, you know, through his mercy, of course, gave us the eyesight, gave us the foresight to see this devil and his plans at work. See? So in that, give me Proverbs 22 and 3. In that, we able to sidestep, you know, this devil. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, the Proverbs 1 and 17, surely in vain the net is spread in the sight of any bird.
So surely in vain is the net set in the sight of any bird. You try to set a trap right in front of someone, then they're going to be tipped off. They're going to say, I know not to follow that path. All right? Versus our people who don't have the foresight to see what this man is doing. See? Go ahead.
According to the book of Proverbs 22 and verse 3, a prudent man foreseeth the evil.
Right. And that's what this gathering is about. That's what this wise counsel, you know, starting with the elders and apostles. When this information go out, this is a form of us foreseeing the evil. See that? Go ahead, read it again.
It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself.
And hideth himself. Where we hide ourselves? Under the shadow of the Almighty. Pursuant to the book of Psalms, the 91st chapter, man. In the pavilion, we're hiding ourselves in the pavilion of our Lord Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, go ahead.
But the simple pass on and are punished.
But the simple pass on and are punished. And who going to punish him? The Lord's going to use Esau to punish him, man. All right, and that's the lust of Esau, the so-called white man. He's dying for the day that he can get his hand on these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, so you got something else?
No, I ain't got
let's
nothing.
go back to this video.
To scale up this plan in specific parts of our country. So it's got to happen, and we all got to come together to make it happen if we're going to protect
It's got to happen.
American families and
It's got to happen. You know? Again, that's the desperation of Esau, man. That's Revelation, the 12th chapter and the 12th verse being brought to light, man. Blossoming right before your eyes. This man knowing that he had but a short time, so he's going to come down with great wrath. Continue up.
is to scale up this plan in specific parts of our country. So it's got to happen, and we all got to come together to make it happen if we're going to protect American families and allow them to go back to work.
So you got to get the vaccine and go back to work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be a day where, no, you got to go back and come back with a slip saying that you got tested. So, look, you Israelites, you're going to find out if you're an Israelite or not. You're going to have to face with that hard decision. Do you want to keep your job, or you willing to lose it for Yahweh Shema Shah, man?
Yeah, one of the brothers, I forget what a brother from, he at his job they present 2 tests a week. He got to get tested twice a week. You know, so this thing has become up close and personal now. All right, and we understand that everything Esau do, there's a more diabolical, sinister plan behind it. And we know what it is, man. These devils is looking to establish their new world order, you know, and it's going to be at the expense of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. That's plain and simple. That's the simplest way we can put it, all right? Go ahead, continue up.
Do you see the national leadership?
Was it on that?
Yeah.
All right, so y'all got another one?
Yeah, that one for that one, yeah.
Let me put it very clearly. You have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread the disease, even if you disagree. You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have
Can you all hear that one?
not to wear a mask.
You might have
You
cut
have
that
no
one.
right
Paul, turn that one up a little.
Yeah, it's kind of low on that one.
All right, yeah, start it over.
Let me put it very clearly. You have no constitutional right to endanger
Turn up a little bit more.
the public.
Can you cut it up on a computer too?
Yeah, I'm finna see.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's why.
Open my glass and now.
Very clearly, you have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread the disease, even if you disagree. You have no right not to be
They
vaccinated.
pause right here, man. Fucking devils, man. You know? Because, you know, you got other devils that's throwing up the Constitution. Look, the Constitution been suspended, man. All right? But now you got devils combating that, you know, to quiet the grumbling, so to speak. You have no constitutional right to infect the people. You know? And he said, even if you disagree. So that lets you know that these devils know that there's going to be a resistance with this thing, man. And it's going to come to a point where they're going to say, man, fuck you, man. We're going to kick in your door, you know, and if you don't comply, you're going to be thrown into a concentration camp, all right? Or some facility, you know, where you're going to be forced to get the vaccine. But also, we're going into a time where they say they're anticipating another wave of the coronavirus. You see that? Come on, man.
It's crazy.
This devil, you can't tell me what the weather gonna be, right? But you're gonna tell me in the winter. You can't tell me who's gonna win a particular football game, man. But for some reason, you know that there's another a swarm, a sweep of the coronavirus is gonna sweep through in fall, in the winter, and this one's gonna be worse. Come on, man. Go ahead.
You have no right not to wear a mask. You have no right to open up your business.
Wait, can I stop you?
Yeah.
No right not to be vaccinated, meaning if they decide you have to be vaccinated, we have to be vaccinated?
Absolutely. And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your...
Hit that. See, now you're saying the devil. See, now we're not as crazy, as one stop, man.
Yep.
This devil said, look, if you don't take this vaccination, he got the right to snatch you up and take you to a doctor's office, man. Which that's the real boogeyman. The doctors,
Oh, yeah.
that's the real boogeyman. The hospital, that's the real house of horrors. It's cold. You liable to walk past a corpse. Damn blood. They got the little blood blood pack. So the so-called white man is showing you right now, man. See? Play that again. I rewind it a little bit.
Vaccinated? We have to be vaccinated?
Absolutely. And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm. If the vaccination
Where is that in the Constitution?
If the vaccination is designed to prevent the spreading disease. If the vaccination is only to prevent a disease that you will get, for example, if there's a disease that will kill you,
Who cares?
you have the right to refuse.
Why didn't you care about AIDS? AIDS was a sexual transmitted disease, right? That was killing people, right? But you still was promoting brothels and strip joints and video vixens, Vegas, Sin City, prostitutes, pornography or whatever, right? You didn't tell people, hey, stop having sex, or hey, man, chill, or you gotta get a condom. You didn't say that, man, right? But now all of a sudden you saying, if you don't get this vaccine, you're gonna endanger people. You can get the disease. You give a fuck about someone getting the disease now. Well, guess what? We understand that this is nothing more than the so-called white man setting the stage. This is that proverbial calm before the storm, which these devils pretty much they rattle first. They rattling, like a rattlesnake, man. They rattling before they strike. They sweeping up on you. Gradualism, gradualism. And that's how a serpent work. They creep up on you, then all of a sudden they bite, man. Right? Matter of fact, get what you got real quick.
This Psalm 94 and 20. Shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee?
Go ahead.
Which frame of mischief by a law?
Yeah, you frame of mischief by a law. So your mischief and you trying to propel that plan into play is through a law, man. So that's why you got this word mandatory being thrown around all of a sudden. Mandatory go hand in hand with law, man.
Yep.
Okay? Mandating go hand in hand with law. All right? So now, with all that established, that's all the clips we got?
Yeah, that's it.
With all that established, this lesson right here is going to be centered around the fact to don't worry, man. This devil and everything he's doing is not going to give me this lesson, the title of this lesson.
Oh my God.
If you got it in the blue letter.
Yep, I got that.
All right? So after everything this devil is doing, this man is vehemently trying to set the stage. Pretty much he's waging war against Israel. That's established. If you have any mental capacity, you'll see that this man, he's up to something, right? But guess what? At the end of the day, we're not the faint, man. Why? Because Yahweh Shem, this was written. This is to happen, man. This is to happen so the Lord might show his power. Remember ancient Egypt? The Lord said he's hardened this man's heart so that he might show his power. This devil heart is hardened, man. He's not going to budge. This man is stubborn in wickedness, man. He's not going to refrain from what he's doing, man. He's going to be persistent in trying to establish his new world order. And again, even if it's at the expense of the children of Israel. All right? But guess what? This is the Lord's moving, man. And there's no reason for any of us to even, second, it'd be a second thought or any doubt in your mind that Yahweh Shema Shah is going to deliver you out of these times. Why? Because you believe.
Yep.
Go ahead, give me what you
2
got.
Thessalonians 1 and 7. And to you who are troubled.
Right, and to you who are troubled. That's all of us, man. we are in this man's crosshairs, man. We are been thrust into the lion's den. We are faced with one that's mightier than us, man. So-called white man has the power, man. So really, we're in trouble, man. Okay? You got a precept?
Yeah, come on.
What you got?
Yeah, I got a quick precept.
Go ahead.
This is the book on, just going back, got the lines in and everything. This is the book on Psalms 44 and verse 1. We have heard with our ears, O power, our fathers have told us what work thou didst in their days.
All right, right. So, matter of fact, and give me Sirach, the second chapter as well. Because we have records, okay, of the Lord stepping in on our behalf, man, and making inquisition, for the children of Israel. You see? And delivering us from the hands of our enemies, man. We have it, it's in writing, man. See? So that's why when you read Romans, the 15th chapter, it says, things written aforetime, written for our learning. So that we, through the comfort of the scriptures, might have hope. All right? So, yeah, go ahead.
Let me get it. Sirach 2.
Yeah, you know exactly what I want there.
10. Yeah, this is Sirach 2 and 10. Look at the generations of old and see.
Right. Look at the generations of old and see. The three holy children that was cast into the burning fire. Oh, we mentioned Daniel and the lion's den. All right? But guess what? Ultimately, the Lord delivered them. In order for you to be delivered, you must be faced with destruction. There has to be some form of peril, an obstacle, for the Lord, he could deliver you. See? Go ahead.
It says, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
Right. Do not we trust in the Lord? You wouldn't be with us here tonight, man, if you didn't trust in the Lord. Matter of fact, give me St. John real quick. I think 6 and 29. Read that again.
It says, Sirach 2 and 10, look at the generations of old and see. Did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded?
Yep, go ahead.
Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken?
Woo! And what's that fear? This knowledge, man. For you to abide in this fear, you constantly partake in these sittings. That's abiding in the fear of the Lord. Because it tells you, and I think it's Proverbs 1 and 7, that the beginning of knowledge is the fear of the Lord. All right? When you come into this knowledge, by default, you fear Yahweh Shem Shah. Why? Because you understand that the paper trail goes back to him. No matter what these devils concoct, no matter how much they puff at you, we know that it's Yahweh Shem Shah. And it tells you that in Isaiah the 10th chapter. Shall the axe boast himself against the one that heweth therewith? So it's the Lord himself that's controlling the strings here, man. See? Go ahead.
Continuing on, it says, of whom did he ever despise that called upon him?
Right, so the Lord's not going to despise you, all right, for calling upon him. See? So go ahead.
Yeah, this is St. John 6:29. Yahweh shall answer and said unto them.
Jump to the 28th verse.
God, this is St. John 6:28. Then they said unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of the Most High?
Yep, go ahead.
Yahweh shall answer and said unto them, this is the work of the Most High.
This is the work of the Most High. So the Lord is going to let you know what's the work of the Most High. And we're going to see if it's complex, as some jakes make it to be. All right? Let's find out what the work of the Most High is. Continue.
That ye believe on him.
That ye what?
Believe.
That ye believe. See? Go ahead.
On him who he have sent.
Who he have sent. Storm with Yahweh Shai, which spills over to us and our apostles and elders. If you believe on us in the words, if you believe on us, okay, in the words that we speak, then that means Yahweh Shema Shai is not going to forsake you. Which takes us back to the feature scripture. Give me back right here. Because it said, look, believe on him that he has sent. Give me, I think that's, is that 1 Chronicles 20 and 20? 2 Chronicles? Give me that real quick. All right, go ahead.
This is 2 Thessalonians 1 and 7. And to you who are troubled.
See, again, unto you who are troubled. When you take a glimpse into history, we just read where it said, look at the generations of old, right? Who was troubled? The children of Israel was troubled when they was going through the Red Sea, man. Pharaoh and his vast army was chasing them, man. They was in trouble, right? You go into, we mentioned Daniel, the three holy children. They was troubled, all right? To you who are in trouble. Was that Elijah where they passed around the city? Then he said, look, there's more of us. There's more that was us than with them. That was the angels, man. All right? Yep, go ahead.
And to you who are troubled, rest with us.
Right, and to you who are troubled, rest with us. All right? Now, real quick, look at this word, rest.
It's like, this is strong. This is rest, Strong's G.
Oh, and another story that come to mind, it was in the book of Joshua, where you had the harlot when yeah, when she hid them on the roof, and she said, "Look, promise me, you know, that you'll save my house and my father's house, you know." And they said, "Okay, you tie a ribbon on your on the door." Right? So guess she was putting her trust in Joshua, man. Their fate was in his hand. So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, the Lord set up saviors. Matter of fact, you'll give me that real quick and we'll go back.
Which one you want? Obadiah, Nehemiah.
Yeah, and one. Either one. What you got?
On the Second Chronicles.
Yeah, give me that.
Second Chronicles 20 verse 20. And they rose early in the morning and went forth into the wilderness of Tekoa. And as they went forth, Jehoshaphat stood and said, "Hear me, O Judah, and ye inhabitants of Jerusalem."
Yep, go ahead.
Believe in the Lord.
Hold up. It said believe in the Lord, right? Go ahead.
Believe in the Lord your power.
Your power. Go ahead.
So shall you be established.
Right. It says, so believe in the Lord your power, and you shall be established. That's fair enough. We can understand that, right? But how do you believe in the Lord? Continue.
Believe his prophets.
What?
Believe his prophets.
Believe his prophets. Go ahead.
So shall ye prosper.
So shall ye prosper. So the Lord set up certain men to convey his word. Hey, the Lord's words is comforting, right? But it's the Lord himself, you know, whispering in your ear, everything gonna be all right. You know what I mean? Or if the Lord materializing in your bedroom at night and telling you, he set up certain men to tell you everything is gonna be all right, man. And we here to tell you faithfully, man, that these devils, they desperate, man. Okay, these devils, this is one last hurrah. I think that was Apostle how made the analogy, was a beautiful example too about how I forgot what fight it was, Ali. And he was trying to he was trying to convince himself that he was going to beat George Foreman, man. But it was just him trying to conjure up one last, hurrah, man. That's what Esau doing, man. Esau trying to conjure up one last, this is that last, hope.
Yep.
All right? But guess what? Your days are numbered, man. When the time now, where the Lord is going to step in on our behalf. See? So, that was it right there?
Yeah, that was it.
All right, come on.
Yeah, this is Nehemiah 9:27. Therefore, thou didst deliver them into the hand of their enemies.
Right, so it was the Lord himself that put us in this position that we're in, man. All right? So it's going to be the Lord that get us out of this position. It wasn't you devils, man. Okay, you devils, you really thought it was your own strength, your own bravado that you took us down, man. No, it was Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Because what? We trespassed against the law, statutes, and commandments of the Heavenly Father. All right, go ahead.
Who vexed them.
Yeah, they did. These devils vex us, man, to this very day. These laws and legislation that's on the books, it was set up to vex Jake. All right, go ahead.
In the time of their trouble,
whoa,
when they cried unto thee,
go ahead.
Thou heardest them from heaven, and according to thy manifold mercies, thou gavest them saviors.
Thou what?
Gavest them saviors.
So the Lord set up certain men to get us out of this situation, man. All right, starting with the apostles and elders. Those are the vessels, if you will. That's that portal, so to speak, where the words of the Lord, the comforting words of the Lord is going to come down to the planet Earth. And so we showed you all this information that these devils, what they're looking to do, their plans, they sinister plans, but guess what? They're going to be checkmated by Yahweh Shema Shai, man. All right? So yeah, this, you got something?
Yeah, kind of.
All right, get what you got, we're going to go back to that.
Going back to what you said about the apostles, this is the book of 1 Thessalonians 4 and verse 18. Wherefore comfort one another with these words.
Yep, comfort one another with these words. Beautiful. All right, so now let's go back.
Yeah, this the word rest in 2 Thessalonians 1.
Right, read it again.
Okay, kind. 2 Thessalonians 1:7. And to you who are troubled.
Right, and to you who are troubled, that's dealing with, does not the scripture say Jacob troubled? Matter of fact, hold that and give me, what's that, 2nd Ezra 16, and I think start at like 70. Then read that. Because we all in trouble, man. We dealing with a bloodthirsty man who whose sight is set on us, man. You know? Go ahead.
This is the book of Second Ezra 16 and verse 70. For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord.
Right, and that's dealing with Israel. There's going to be insurrection upon us. Go ahead.
They shall be like madmen, sparing none.
Right, they shall be like madmen, sparing none. That's the scriptures giving you a vivid illustration of what these devils is about to do, man. And you see, we just saw the information. You know, and they are doing it under the banner, you know, in the spirit of the coronavirus. You know, if you don't test with the coronavirus, now we're going to open up on you, man. But, hey, man, we need your house shot, man.
Right.
All right? Go ahead.
Continuing
That's
on.
what you're dealing with. You're dealing with this devil, man. See? Go ahead.
It says, continuing on, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord.
Yep, go ahead.
For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses.
Yep.
Then shall it be known who are my chosen.
Yep, go ahead.
And they shall be tried as the gold in the fire.
Mm-hmm.
Hear, O ye beloved.
Right, it said, hear, O ye my beloved, right? We the beloved. See? Of the Lord. And that proves right there that there's a separation. The Lord ain't dealing with everybody, man. The Lord is personalizing this. Hear, O ye my beloved, right? Go ahead.
It says, hear, O ye my beloved,
Go ahead.
saith the Lord.
Read.
Behold, the days of trouble are at hand.
See, the days of trouble are at hand. Read this again.
It said, and to you who are troubled.
See, unto ye who are troubled, man. See? Go ahead.
It says,
hold up. And who's bringing this trouble? Give me 2 Thessalonians 1. Who is the driving force behind our trouble?
Oh, you want that?
Is it 1 and 6?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
the scripture.
I was jump up. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. Sin is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
So that trouble is going to be at the hand of a certain people. Who troubled us, man? The nation of Edom, man. You Edomites, you so-called white people. It don't take any extensive research, in-depth analysis, or breakdown to come to that conclusion. We know you can stumble up on that by mistake and know that these devils is the one that troubled you, man. See, read that one more time.
It says, sin is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
See, that's the good news. The Lord is going to recompense, pay back tribulation to those that troubled us. See?
And to you who are troubled, rest with us.
And see, and to you that are troubled, rest with us. So, give me this again.
This is the book of 2 Ezra 16 and verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand.
See, that's the time we're in right now. Go ahead.
But I will deliver you.
Go ahead.
I will deliver you.
But I will deliver you. Go ahead.
From the same.
From the same. And see, we got to understand the way the Lord go about his business. It's all centered around dramatics. You know? So, you might be in a situation where you cornered off. You know? You troops surround you. Or you might be in a situation where the food is scarce. But guess what? Just continue to trust in the Lord, man. Because this is the way he go about his business, man. It's going to be dramatic. It's going to be a certain flair to it, right? But that's the Lord giving you a pep talk. Read that again, man.
It says, hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord.
Right, and these other groups, hey, everybody ain't got the luxury. It's people that don't even know where that precept is, man. These people don't know where to find that precept. That proves right there that the Lord is with us, man. We able to convey the words of Yahweh Shemi Hashah and speak it out into the atmosphere, man. This is, again, the Lord giving us a pep talk right here, man. Read that again.
It says, hear, O ye my beloved,
go ahead,
saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand.
Yep.
But I will deliver you from the same.
But I will deliver you from the same. That sound familiar? Give me Jeremiah 30 and 7. Go ahead, continue.
It says, be ye not afraid.
Yep, see? Be ye not afraid. Why would the Lord say that? If everything is going to be peaches and cream. He's letting you know that shit is going to get bad out here, man. Be ye not afraid. Afraid of who? These devils, man. Who are able to kill the body. Who are able to throw you into a concentration camp. Who are able to take your resources away from you. Which contributes to your livelihood. And that's nothing new, man. When you go into 70 AD, they cut off the supplies to the city, man. So we know what to expect from this devil, man. See? We don't marvel when we see this man, doing what he do. See? Read it again.
It says, be ye not afraid, neither doubt.
Jump up again.
Or something, verse 74. It says, hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same.
But I will deliver you from the same. And that sentiment is echoed right here. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah 30:7.
Yep.
Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it.
Right. So we're coming into a time that can't be rivaled with any other time in history. See? Go ahead.
It is even the time of Jacob's trouble.
See? Go ahead.
But he shall be saved out of it.
See? But he shall be saved out of it. We just read that. See? You got something?
I was looking for it.
All right. Go ahead. Go.
Let me see. Okay, I got it. It's going back in 2 Ezra 16, verse 75. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your God.
See? All right. No. Go up. Jump back up again.
Okay, jump back up. It's verse 74. Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord.
Right, we just read right here. The time of Jacob's trouble at hand, but he would be delivered out of it. See, go ahead.
Behold, the days of trouble are at hand.
See, go ahead.
But I will deliver you from the same.
Right, so we have nothing to worry about. Go ahead.
Be ye not afraid, neither doubt.
Yep.
For the Most High is your God.
For the Most High is your God. Now that's why when you read the Lord's Prayer, it said, "Lead me not into temptation, but deliver me from evil." So the Lord is going to guide us and navigate us through this, man. See that? So yeah, we'll go back here.
All right, 2 Thessalonians 1. So like it. 2 Thessalonians 1:7. And to you who are troubled, rest with us.
Right, go ahead.
When the Lord Yahushua shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels.
Right, so now let's look up this word rest, see what they give you.
This word rest, Strong G 425. And it says, loosening, relaxing.
Yeah, relax. 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 The scripture tells you that as well. The Lord said, be still and know that I am Yahweh, man. Okay? Go ahead.
Spoken of a more tolerable condition in captivity, to be held in less vigorous confinement, relief.
Yeah, relief. We're going to find a form of relief throughout the drama. Okay? Which comes in the form of the scriptures. You got something? Give me Isaiah 33.
Isaiah 33:6.
Yeah, continue, right?
It said rest from persecutions.
Woo! Rest from persecutions, man. All right? We're not going to be affected by whatever Esau is laying out. This is what we've been waiting for, man. This is the time where the Lord, you think the Lord is going to sit here and let, those who believe on him, just be given over to this devil, man? No, it tells you that even when you read, I think there's is that Revelation 2:10 or Revelation 3:10, the hour of temptation.
Yeah.
I will keep thee from the hour of temptation. And the key word is I will keep thee. And that's another thing. You can't somehow establish your own salvation. You're coming up with some exit plan. No, just lay back, relax, and let Yahweh Shemashah do his thing, man. The guy, he sent a message, a comment to, I think it was Apostle Hall. He said, man, should we leave the country? And Apostle Hall told him, no, man, we want to be right here, man. In order for you to be delivered, you have to be thrust into the midst of action. All right? So, yeah, go ahead.
Come to the book of Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure.
Again, which is his knowledge. All right, go back.
It says, relief, rest for persecutions, be eased.
Be eased. Woo! We're going to be eased. We're going to be comforted, man, in that day. All right? In which we man, at any time, right now, at any day now, the very landscape of America can change, man. The things that you're used to, the luxuries you enjoy, it can be taken away, man. All hell is about to break loose right here in America, man. But guess what? That's what we want, Because in order for us to receive that inheritance, we got to travel through. It tells you that in 2 Ezra. Matter of fact, you'll get that too. Get that 2 Ezra 7. And you got something? Give me, what's that? I think that's Romans. Is that Romans 14 and 20?
Reach my Acts.
Acts
14,
22. Acts 14 and 22. Yep, give me that. Give me what you got.
Yeah, this 2 Ezra 7. I'm going to start at 6. There is also another thing. A city is built and is set upon a broad field.
Right. And what's that city? That's the kingdom of heaven, man. The world to come. Okay? Go ahead.
And it's full of all good things.
And it's full of all good things. Read.
The entrance thereof is narrow. And it's set.
Oh, the entrance thereof is narrow. Meaning this is a narrow, straight path. That narrow path symbolizes difficulty. You know, in order for you to get into the kingdom, you got to go through the straight gate, which consists of restrictions. All right? Go ahead.
The entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous place to fall.
What's that dangerous place to fall? America. The kingdom got to go through America. You got to go through America, man, to get to the kingdom. This is that dangerous place to fall. When you go into the times of the apostles 2,000 years ago, they thought that road would go through Rome. That's why we read Acts the first chapter. They said, well, thou at this time? No. The road had to go through the kingdom. I mean, the road to the kingdom had to go through America. This is that dangerous place to fall. Read that again.
It said the entrance thereof is narrow and is set in a dangerous fall.
Which again is America. Go ahead.
Like as there were a fire on the right hand and on the left a deep water.
Yep, go ahead.
And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could be one man go there at once.
Go ahead.
It said, if this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance.
Right, which that inheritance goes back to our forefathers. You can't receive an inheritance that's, you know. So the other nations, they don't even qualify for this inheritance. This is for us. So it says, if a man was to receive this city, the kingdom, for an inheritance, go ahead.
If he never surpassed the danger set before it.
If he never surpassed the danger set before it. So we got to look forward to going through this, man. It's going to be beautiful because the Lord's going to deliver us out of it, man. Go ahead.
How shall he receive this inheritance?
So in order for you to get the kingdom, you have to go through the drama that's laid out. All right? So that was it on that. Go ahead.
This is the book of Acts 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith.
Yep, go ahead.
And that we through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Read it again.
This is the book of Acts 14 verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples
go ahead.
and exhorting them to continue in the faith.
Read.
And that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
So through much tribulation, we're going to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. But guess what? The Lord is going to deliver us out of those different manifold temptations. All right? So now let's go back over here.
To Thessalonians.
Yeah.
Let's see. It says, relief, rest from persecutions, be eased, liberty. That was pretty much it on that.
So throughout all the drama that's ahead of us, we're going to be at ease. The Lord is going to deliver us through this, man.
Yep.
You know? And again, the scriptures say, those who are troubled rest with us. Meaning, continue to cleave unto this counsel. You know what? Let's prove that before we close. Give me Proverbs, the first chapter. And start at, I think, the 24th verse, 25th verse. Because again, the scripture said, those who are troubled rest with us, right? So how do you rest with us? By continuing, you know, to partake in this gathering. The scriptures tell you where two or more gathered, so am I. All right? So the protection of the Lord. This is the Lord's house, man. When you consider a house, the house of David, right? A house itself symbolizes protection. It protects you from the outside, the elements of the outside. You know, the rain, the sleet, the snow, the weather. Okay, the danger that lurks without the borders of those doors. See? So, give me that Proverbs 1, I think, start at 24.
All right.
Start at 23.
All right, Con, this Proverbs 1 and 23.
I get it.
Okay, Con.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Proverbs 1 and verse 23.
Go ahead.
Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you.
Right, so how the Lord is doing that? Through his men. Go ahead.
I will make known my words unto you.
I will make known my words unto you. Read.
Because I have called and ye refuse. I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
Now what does it mean when the Lord says he stretched out his hand? That's dealing with his servants. A hand symbolizes a servant. That's why you might hear somebody say, give me a helping hand. So the Lord says he stretched out his hand. That means you have men, you have servants stretched out throughout the world. The Lord stretched out his hand. Go ahead.
It It says, he stretched out my hand and no man regarded.
Go ahead.
But ye have set at night at all my counsel.
See, read that again.
But ye have set at night at all my counsel.
So you see what the offense is? You're going to be visited because you didn't sit at all the Lord's counsel. So that's why when you continue to sit in these councils, you know, and subscribe to the teachings of Yahweh Shema Shai, you're going to be protected. See? That's why, again, the scriptures say, rest with us. Get that one more time and read this again.
Okay, it's verse 25. But you have set at night all my counsels, it was none of my reproof.
See? So in order for you to be protected, you got to sit in these councils. And read on, it's going to prove it. Go ahead.
Verse 26. It says, I also will laugh at your calamity.
Go ahead.
I will mock when your fear cometh.
Go ahead.
When your fear cometh as a desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind,
go ahead.
When distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer.
Yep.
They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me.
Yep, go ahead.
For that they hated knowledge.
Yeah, you hated knowledge. See? Go ahead.
And did not choose to fear the Lord.
Right, which is his wisdom. Go ahead.
They would none of my counsel.
See, they were none of my counsel. So in order that's how you rub the Lord the wrong way, man, by not sitting in his counsel. Here it is, the Lord is speaking to you through his men. All right? So in order for you to get that seal, you know, of approval, if you will, which when you read Ezekiel the 9th chapter, the Lord commanded those angels to not come near any man who have the mark. All right? Which that mark is being exempt from judgment. Well, that's going to be based upon you not sitting at this council or sitting at this council, the two extremes, man. See that? So that's it on that. Give me what you got.
On that too. On that.
Yeah. I know the pinnacle on that.
Yeah.
That's the point I wanted. With sitting in the council. You know? All right, so go ahead.
Yeah, this 2 Thessalonians 1:7. And to you who are troubled.
See, to you who are troubled, go ahead.
Rest with us.
Right, and we just read the scripture how you rest with us. By sitting in this council. See, go ahead.
When the Lord Yahweh Shai shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels.
Yep, see that? Which is going to be the climax, man. All right, that's going to be the exclamation point. So, yeah, with that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory
to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakudash.
Double honors to our teachers, the head apostles, and elders, the great millstone. Shalom to you brothers laboring in his work, as well as you believers out there, the Akim and the Aqua, that subscribe to the truth as well. Till the next time, Shalom.
Shalom. DTA, Abba.